and use your mental brain power and willpower to figure out what you're going to do to move the needle. When you write down one thing that you're going to do the day before to accomplish your goals, that is one thing that you have on your list, one thing your brain can commit to, one thing your brain doesn't even really have to worry about. It can just be creative while you're sleeping, and then when you wake up, you will be so surprised. You'll have so many different ideas how you could do this. You'll find simple ways for you to accomplish it. It's just a whole different approach if you write down that one task that you're going to do to accomplish your goals the day before.
5 shows made 3 million a week. You are now looking at the bestie elite. You are now looking at the bestie elite. You are now looking at the best.
Welcome back, besties. I'm Lola Show, and together we're becoming the best, aka our best selves this year and every year. The best are never the best by themselves, and you shouldn't be either. If you haven't already, join the best on YouTube by hitting that subscribe button and add your bestie by liking and sharing this with someone you want the best for. Now, grab your water and let's go. Okay, besties, so today we're tackling practicing becoming your best self until you love it. Okay, yes, it's all about loving the process this year and every year, because guess what? Becoming your best self is a process. It's ongoing. And if you don't like the process, you don't heard me say it before, you're never going to appreciate or love what it produces. So without further ado, let's get into it. So the first thing you're going to do to practice becoming your best self until you love it is compound your best self. Now, I have a YouTube video, I think it's titled, learning how to love the best version of yourself in 2025 in 8 steps, something along those lines. I'll do my best to link it. But you want to compound your best self. You want to put points on the board every single day. You want to become 1% better every single day so that at the bare bones, end of the year, this time next year, you're 365% better. Actually, even more than that. And I'm going to do the math on that one of these days. Or y'all can tell me in the comments what that is. You know what I'm saying? But you want to compound your best self, okay? You want to put points on the board continuously because every single point adds up. Just like every single percent adds up. And I promise you, you're going to love the process of becoming unrecognizable if you do this one simple thing. Now that you're compounding, the next thing you want to do is get a best self journal to track your progress. Now, I've talked about this before. I've mentioned it a time or two, but tracking your process, tracking your progress, both are essential. A lot of times we do so much, we don't even remember what we did. And when we don't remember what we did, we don't give value to it. We don't think that we're doing enough. We think we're doing too little. We're thinking that nothing that we do actually works. When if we just took a step back and actually had a place to store all of our process, all of our progress, it would be a totally different tune that we'd be singing, okay? So if you really want to love this process, make sure you get a journal. And trust me, I know the dollar store has gone up to $1.25 as per the recording of this YouTube video, but it's $1.25 worth investing. Now that you're compounding your best self, you got your best self journal, the next thing that you want to do is you want to actually write down one thing you can do for your top goals daily. Bonus if you do it the day before, because this is going to set you up to not only just subconsciously while you're sleeping think of ways that you can accomplish these goals, but two, when you wake up, it's one less thing for you to have to figure out and use your mental brain power and willpower to figure out what you're going to do to move the needle. When you write down one thing that you're going to do the day before to accomplish your goals, that is one thing that you have on your list, one thing your brain can commit to, one thing your brain doesn't even really have to worry about. It can just be creative while you're sleeping, and then when you wake up, you will be so surprised. You'll have so many different ideas how you could do this. You'll find simple ways for you to accomplish it. It's just a whole different approach if you write down that one task that you're going to do to accomplish your goals the day before. Okay, now this should be stored in your journal so that you have someplace that you can always go back to. For me, I put it in, and I've showed you guys this before, I have a big goals action plan. So I put my top 3 goals in there, and then I put all the tasks that I'm going to do. I have a digital version of that. I have that physical version. The one that I used last quarter looks like this, and it's like all filled out. I think I've walked you guys through this before, but it's like all filled out. All these pages are like, gone through and stuff like that. But it's definitely one of those things that when you have a place to write it down and you're constantly always thinking of a task to do and thinking of ways to put points on the board, it's just going to always move you closer to your goal no matter what. Even if it's only one step closer, it's a step in the right direction. Make sense? Okay, I know this was short, sweet, to the point, but here's the part where I really want you to lock in, okay? you need to take action, specifically one step towards each of those goals every single day. It's one thing to write it down. It's one thing to have an idea about it, right? But it's another thing to actually take action on it. Okay, here's where a lot of us, goal setters, goal getters, boss babes, magical men, I don't know what you guys want to call yourselves. Like, there's so much stuff. There's so many names for the same old thing. Nothing new is under the sun. But for every single person who's constantly trying to better themselves, constantly trying to evolve, constantly trying to outdo themselves, constantly in competition with the person that they are in the mirror with, for all of you, okay, there is that one moment where it's just like, oh yeah, I'm learning all these tips. I'm learning all these tips and tricks. I heard what you said about that. I heard what you told me to do here, and I have the intention to do so. I have the intention to compound my best self. I have the intention to go get a journal. I have an intention to write it down. I have an intention to do what I wrote down. But if you never take action, nothing that I said so far will make any difference. Even though what I am telling you will make you at least 1% better a day, and by the end of the year, or at least this time next year, you'll be 365% plus better than who you are right now. In fact, during this process, you're going to love the fact that you became unrecognizable. You're not going to remember when it happened, but baby, it always hits us the same way. You're going to realize that you've already walked through the doors that you swore were shut, okay? You have gotten to the places that you have aspired to be, and it didn't even feel like it, right? That's what getting 1% better every single day is, but only if you take action. The 1% doesn't just fall out of the sky, okay? It's action. If you're not willing to compound your best self, if you're not willing to, love the process of having that journal to track, the progress and process of becoming your best self, writing down one thing you can do to get closer to your goals, and actually doing the one thing to get closer to your goals, if you don't really get into that rhythm, if you don't fall in love with that simple process, that 1% is never going to show up, because you're never going to show up. Do you see what I'm saying? The only way you outdo the person in the mirror, the only way you get better than your previous self, is by taking action. And if you refuse to take the action, it doesn't matter what your intentions were. It doesn't matter how much you love this video. It doesn't matter how much you liked and you subscribed and you shared and you commented. Hey, if you don't take action with the things that I am telling you, you're never going to see the results. But again, don't believe me? Try it for yourself. That's all for today, besties. If you haven't already, like, subscribe, and comment your best tip below. And remember, the best is yet to come. See you on the next one.